This is your daily market review for Monday, March 24th, 2025. Let's go.
Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well.
This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market review for Monday, March 24th, 2025. Hopefully you had a great weekend. I was in Austin for a couple days doing some work, and I'm back. However, I won't be able to do a daily market review at the end of the day, so I'm doing one now just to get it out of the way. It's middle of the day. It's about lunchtime on the East Coast, and wanted to run through some things. So hopefully you're doing great. If you've been following the channel, you're absolutely smashing it, crushing it. Hopefully you're doing great, and wanted to just do the best I can to give you guys a quick update. Because again, got in pretty late last night and was exhausted. So all right, what do we know for the rest of the week, right? You've got some economic data. You're going into the end of the month, which would be new money, new quarter. The market's oversold today's gap up will change that definitely somewhat. And again, market has priced in, I would say, the tariffs. Worst case scenario, maybe, maybe not. Again, either way, this is why you have to manage your positions. I personally think you have some more upside to chop over the next couple days. Unless we rip pretty high, I don't know if we'll pull back that hard into the end of the quarter unless some news is coming. It looks like Trump's negotiating with the tariffs might benefit the U.S. near term because, again, if everything was priced in the worst case scenario and people start backing off, we'll see what happens here. Again, traders market, in my opinion. Manage your positions, be smart. Let me know how I can help. So if you're new to the channel, want to check out the Discord room, link description below. Again, we're talking about a bunch of things, also a lot of stuff going on. So please stick around. This will be a really interesting recap. Again, if you want to chat 30 minutes, check it out. If you need help posting trades, thoughts, ideas, again, Calendly, if you want to see what we're up to, check it out on the Twitter. Also, follow, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I appreciate it if you can take 2 seconds of your time, hit the like button, maybe leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I appreciate it. Again, the channel has tons of educational videos, lots of good stuff. So it's all there for you. Again, this is one of the things I was just looking at. The fear and greed index is still in fear. So I think it's possible that we have some more upside. We'll see what happens here. Also, check out the website, tradingagent.com. Recommended reading, all your videos, all your recaps. Ideas, turn profits into properties and passive income. Keep it simple, stupid kind of stuff. So we know the next meeting coming up, the odds of a rate cut. We'll see. I mean, Trump said today he wants to see the Feds to cut. At this point, right now, it's looking like not much. Subject to change. Just follow it. Keep an eye on it. Oh, for some reason, it changed. All right, Bitcoin. I'm sorry, it did not stick. Sticky. Basically said you have to be careful here. Now, again, not saying short or go long. It just when between your trading ranges, said if you have to play the middle of the range, you got to be careful. Just again, I would be more bullish once you get over 92,000, and I would be confident that you can go back after the highs potentially. But I'd also would think that I'd have the best risk reward around 72,000. In between it, it's a crapshoot. Your guess is as good as mine, honestly. But be safe out there. Oil, we talked about, should be holding the range lows. Keep an eye on it. Natty gas has been on fire. I'm not surprised that it's pulling back somewhat, right? It's been, again, I would like to see it cheaper prices. Why is it not all showing all my marks? Looks like it reset something. Anyway, there should be some other, yes, leave page, show me the refresh. Eat fresh, Subway, eat fresh, refresh. There we go. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we chop around in this area. So let's get into a dollar. So we talked about starting to bottom down here. Now it was oversold. So what do you expect? 20-day? Looks like the 50-day, maybe the 200-day, maybe the back test of the channel. At this point, we'll see. GDP data coming out on Thursday. Remember, a lot of the data that's coming out this week is looking backwards. PCE data, personal income, spending. We'll see what happens. Again, I wouldn't get too caught up in the data. Whatever it is, we'll see. I mean, whatever is going to happen with tariffs and all this other crap, it's just... You don't know. And is it priced in? That's the question. You don't know. So hence why manage your positions, trade around it, be safe, be smart, be thoughtful, be kind to your friends. VIX, as we talked about, look to go double top, pulling back, post quad witching OPEX. I'd be watching those low 17s. Keep an eye on it. Keep it simple. Stupid VIX typically bottoms first. I mean, made a new low today. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the near-term extreme lows, but there's no guarantees that you couldn't come back into the mid-70s. I'd be watching it. Again, I'm not super confident near term that this would be a bottom. But I mean, again, the market can chop around, and these products can go almost nowhere. So SPY gapping up to the 200-day, 20-day, big gap. Is it going to continue on? That's a good question. Maybe chop around a little bit. I'd be watching the 582 area. We talked about this is the 0.618. Keep it simple, stupid. Again, you don't know if this is really a bottom for a long term or not, but the risk reward to start shorting, in my opinion, after today's gap up, I would be more confident after again, we got earnings coming up. So this is going to get a little sneaky up here, right? We know earnings is going to be crappy. I wouldn't be surprised if you get a bounce and then you chop. That's my guess. QQQQQQ. Feels like it has more upside to the 200-day, 490s. Keeping on. Again, I personally think that Qs have been the laggard, but they're bouncing. But we talk about our friend Tesla. Again, if you're in that one, holy macadoo. IWM, we talked about being pretty oversold. Today's gap up. I mean, I don't know why. Again, not to say, and this is the thing, right? Big down, consolidation, big down. It's the time to consolidate. Like, that's what I'd be waiting for, right? Like, I don't know. I think a lot of people are expecting big moves. That's how you screw up the most people, in my opinion, right? Everyone thinks the market's shot. Some people are probably like, this is the best buying opportunity of our generation. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it chops around. That would be probably what would confuse the most amount of people, taking most amount of money. DIA, maybe same thing, overdue for a bounce. Gold, talked about this, right? Long term, expect higher. Near term, I mean, we're at the 2-time range. I don't really trust it because, again, the seasonality of Q2 for gold and silver usually sucks. Silver's not rallying and going nuts, so I don't really trust it. GDX, again, holding up near the highs. Credit where credit's due, right? But we'll see what happens here. And this is what I'd be sad for bulls, is if it ends up being this was the peak and then it pull back, and not to say that it's going to go get absolutely crushed for sure or not, but you just waste the next quarter trying to trade this stuff, where, again, I think there's a better trade. The better trade to me in the second quarter is the expectation of oil names rallying into Memorial Day. It's always a great trade, potentially, especially if you're at bottoms. AG, chopping around. Again, these names had some nice bounces. Newmont, AEM chopping at the high. I mean, Newmont chopping at the high. PAAS chopping at the high. You get my drift here. Like, I'm not bearish, but I'm also not sitting here going, I think there's a lot of upside. Make sense? Make dollars make sense? Make sense? Okay, cool. Just be safe on it. Taiwan semi. Again, we talked about the semis are the laggards of the group, but here you go. Nice bounce. Talked about them like these things have been absolutely throttled off the highs. Are you surprised they bounced? No. Micron, pops, flops, chops on earnings all over the place. Your guess is as good as mine. 200-day again. Resistance seems to be a chop zone. AMD. All the bears in the world are like, oh, this thing's toast. And I'm not bearish on this at the bottom. I told, like, at the highs we talked about, it's like not just tech. Semis are going to get cooked. Talked about it for the last couple weeks. Like, are you going to be surprised if it gets a bounce? You shouldn't be. Now, how strong of a bounce over the 50-day? We'll see what happens here. Not saying that you can't go. Again, like, do them. Like, when you really bottom in a trend, even if it's a downtrend, you should get some decent bounces, right? How high? I would probably use this 120 area. I'd be using this all as a reference right in here. Keep an eye on it. Again, I'm not sitting. That's why I'm like, do not short lows. It's no different than buying at the highs. It's stupid. Again, I don't really like AMD, but I'm not gonna short the lows. Like, that's just crazy. NVIDIA seems to be holding around here. Again, it could go to range highs. It's chopping around. I don't really have much on this one. SMCI all over the place. I thought it was down 2 or 3 points at one point. Rallying back. Again, watch what happens in here. Intellectual property. Again, they're probably going to get bought out. Not really much out of a premium. I think it's just going to be a trading range. AVGO, interesting right here, right now. 20-day breaking over it. Can it get over it? Again, this stuff looks pretty crappy, but it is due to bounce, right? And again, if the market, rising tide lifts all boats. SMH, same kind of thing. Oversold. Probably gets back into this mid 230s, maybe even 240s. Adobe, right? This looks interesting to me. Right, chopping around after a big consolidation pattern. I mean, if you wanted to sell puts near term, I think you get paid on that. I don't know if it's going to rally a ton, but I mean, you have a hard bottom there. Hard bottom. Apple, talked about this one. Again, I don't like tech other than Tesla for trading right now, and Palantir and some of these other names, but Apple should bounce here, right? We talked about it. Amazon, I mean, some of these names look better for bigger bounces. Amazon, today's gap up. All right. How high? How far? I don't know. That's what I'd be using, somewhere on the 215 area. Meta high, like a high. Oh, this one's been, chopping around range lows, bounces, hits the next resistance. Again, I don't trust these names to go up big, but I don't know if they're really going to get smoked down either until the market gets flopping. CRM, which it could at some point, chopping around again. This one's oversold. Guggenheim, we talked about, it's probably due to bounce, right? Like, talked about this candle being the wick. I don't know, 200 day. Keep it simple, stupid. Microsoft, again, likes when the dollar's going down. Now the dollar's going higher. Bro, again, you see, like, tech to me is just a little too difficult to really trust and hold. Now, again, trade it. NDQ hitting the 200 bounce, but owning it, be careful. MicroStrategy, now this is one where we talked about, right? You're welcome. We said the 200 day, probably going to get up to the range high box around the 320s. Bada boom, bada bing. Now, again, if Bitcoin starts baking again and cooking, your upside is somewhere up in here. And then your next one would be somewhere around here. So again, I wouldn't go out there and jump in on to short it, but hey, due to bounce, you got your bounce. Did these chop around? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Netflix, same kind of thing, like got your bounce, they're gonna chop around. Roblox, chop around, right? Nice bounce. All these things. You go from oversold to overbought, then you continue the trend. And if the trend is down, you should get some sort of retest. Or if it's not a bottom, if it is a bullish long term, you probably still get some sort of retest somewhere. Maybe summer, maybe sell in May, go away. I don't know. Maybe April is in March or chop. I don't know. I mean, that's my instinct is feeling that. Tell me if you think the same. Like, April going into earnings, because you're going to have good earnings and bad earnings. And companies are going to kitchen sink, and some are going to say everything's great. And I just think it's going to be one of those things where you sit there and you go, at the end of it, we're going to be in the same levels, same areas chopping around. PanW, again, I like this one long term. I'd be waiting for pullbacks. Good old friend Tesla, told y'all, again, not always correct, but like I said, it made sense to bounce here on the gap fill. And now I tried to post it, like, the sales have actually been increasing. People seem to be buying more Teslas to support Elon. Whether you like it or not, I don't really give a shit. We're just trading it. And it seems like the sales and their autonomous vehicle stuff is selling, is what it is. Remember, 3 months ago, this thing is at 500. So people are looking at, when they see the fucking price way down here, they're going, deal, 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 deal. Whether you believe it or not, whether you like Elon or not, I don't care. Near term, I thought this 270s, but as I zoom in and we've caught momentum, like, I doubt we're going to top on a Monday after this gap up. I'd be watching the 280s, 200 day, and the gap fill. See that gap there? And then maybe we play the game. Maybe we consolidate a little bit. Like, go look at the last couple times this thing went cooking, right? Off the low, you went, you had 2 days, and then you chop for a couple, and then, right? Well, is today this day? I don't know. But I will say, if you're trading the TSLA, trade around it. I would take some profit tomorrow if we're up big again. And again, take all of it. That's your choice. But trade around it at some point, right? You got to manage profits because they can get taken quickly. All right, let's get into the commodities. Or actually, no, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my new order. Palantir, let's run through this. I'm trying to speed this up. All right, we like this one. Looks like it's going to fill the gap. Insight, again, I think this gets bought out at some point. Keep an eye on it, right? Like, again, I'd like this one at cheap level. HIMS, we talked about waiting for the 30 area. And all right, here you go. Market's bouncing. This is bouncing. Makes sense. Keep an eye on it. Looking pretty solid for bounces. BABA, again, I don't really trust China. Looks like fun flows is moving back in the U.S., chopping around. McDonald's, this one looked like it was going to break out, gave it back, chopping around. Good guess. Starbucks, again, sometimes we just rapid fire through these, see if there's anything there. Again, I wanted to short this at the 118, 117 level, didn't get it. Watching it, waiting for bounces. I think they're cooked. Airbnb, if you're short it, hell yeah, congrats. Leave a comment below. Due to bounce after a big slap down, 166 down to 110, 118, no doubt. Coin, we talked about. This was a good opportunity for a trade, right? We talked about, here's the trend line. You got a double bottom. Oh, shit. Right? Can it bounce? Yeah, it looks like a gap up. Watch the 20-day. Again, whether you like stocks or not, they look like they're bouncing. DKNG, right? Another one due to bounce. Talked about this one getting smoked. Costco, not surprised, up some points now, right? You got like a little bit of a double bottom. I feel like there's going to be a head and shoulders, right? And I think the head will be right up here. So be safe, be smart, be careful. FedEx, keep an eye on this one, right? Like, look at the earnings. Due to bounce, slap down. It's a pretty, man, I wish I would have bought that. It's a pretty solid move there. Keep an eye on it. XLF, we talked about this one, right? Hitting the 200-day. Bounce. Or not, sorry, some of the other ones hit the range lows, bounce. Sorry, other names hit the 200-day. Hood, again, Robin Hood, bouncing. right? Near term, a little overbought some of these financials, but we'll see, right? Here you go, JP Morgan to the 200-day. Not surprised, got the bounce, watch the levels. Not rocket science here. Morgan Stanley, Stanley Morgan. Oh, give me it. Give me it. Stanley, Morgan Stanley, right? Nice little bounce. Again, we talked about this is why you have to be careful. Even in downtrends, you get bounces in bull and bear. Ugh, I'm just saying the same thing over. Watch it. Goldman Snacks, night said do the bounce. In the 200-day, carry, do the bounce, right? See it? 20-day, 50-day, how high, how strong? Again, I don't know for sure, but the straight line moves typically run into chop, and then the chop will lead you to the next direction. And XBI chopping at the lows. I feel like you could buy these down here if there's going to be a bounce. We talked about this stuff, right? Not rocket science. XBI. Jets is another one. Just kind of watching like, man, this thing's gotten slobber knockered. Bounce. Bounce. And last but not least in this little, where's my XHB on here? What did I do with it? Where are you? Today it's the Monday after a trip, running slow. It's not showing up there. Here, I'm just gonna type it in. Hopefully, you had a great weekend. Yeah, due to bounce, chopping at the lows. Keep an eye on it. Questions, thoughts, concerns? All right, let's run through the commodity sector. Dow. Look at these names, right? Chopping. Watch it. Set your start. Again, if you want to start taking snaps right here, keep an eye on it. CE, right? Celanese, right? Big volume at the bottom. Looks like it's going to get over this gap. Again, I like these names from bottoming for bouncing. Commodity and Caterpillar, another one holding like a head and shoulders bottom. Gap up today over the 20-day, probably due to bounce somewhere. We'll see. Again, tariff stuff is always going to be tricky. Deer chopping around. Nucor, look at this one. Dropped on earning, or I think it was warning. Bouncing right back. Again, I like these names. X has been holding up really damn well. Keep it simple, stupid. IIIN, or is it LLL in steel? Again, looks like a head and shoulders bottom. You know the zone. That's why we draw the pictures. Y'all figure it out. VALE, we talked about this one, had a nice run. Bouncing, hitting the 200-day. See what happens here. Arrow, I like copper. I like junior copper. I like everything for, right? I think if Teslas are going to be selling more, there's going to be more need for the grid. So keep an eye on it. Watching the 50-day again. I don't know if I would chase these names, but they look good. FLQ, like this one. Look at this all over the place. Like fake breakout. We'll see. Again, I like these names long term. Southern Copper, another one. Just zapping through them. A little overbought maybe. FCX. We'll see. You don't know. Same thing, right? Nice bounces. Junior uranium. We talked about this one. I like this down here a lot. Keep an eye on this stuff. Again, CCJ, we talked about the 40 area holding. So far, so good. CF, I like ag names a lot, right? But chopping, man, that is a tight, choppy channel. That one's interesting because that could get you some bounce. I'm putting that one back on the list to maybe trade. Not maybe, but trade at some point, like Mosaic, because I like choppy bottoms. Talked about the bounce. There you go. I mean, a lot of these names look so good. We called these SQM, nice bounce. Don't really have much drawn on there. Just watching it. NTR. Can we flop through these real quick so you can see like if there's anything worth watching? Aeron, right? We like aluminum. Kalu is another one. Kaiser, watching this one, right? Looks okay. I mean, you've got your levels, right? So don't go, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. If you want to take the trade, take it. Define your risk. Put a stop in. NP has been holding up at an old breakout zone, and CF last but not least in the commodity list. Makes sense down here at the lows. Keep an eye on it. Oil. Again, I like to roll through the USO real quick, see if there's anything nice. Again, we talked about it's due to bounce, chopping around. UNG, I mean, we have to refill the SPR, and people are like, oh, it's not that much. I'm like, it's going to matter. XOP, talked about this one bouncing. Sold some, or not sold it, sold all of it to jump into TSLA because I thought it was a better risk reward. Near term, again, I'd be looking for pullbacks, right? And if it doesn't, great. But just be careful, please. Like, don't sit here and go nuts. I'm not really messing with solar. Let me just go to HYG real quick. I like this one chopping around for the moment. I don't think there's going anywhere. I apologize. My new list, I've got everything kind of bouncing around. I'll get it. TAN, nothing. Sedge, nothing. Right? I mean, these names, your guess is good as mine, right? Are they long-term bottoms? I mean, do you like solar? We'll see. Keep an eye. I like First Solar out of all of them, but the levels matter. Watching them, right? ExxonMobil, this is another one that's been on fire. Okay, near term, probably a little overbought. Keep an eye on it. Right, BP, we talked about this one, right? Getting the bounce. Okay. That's a big volume day on Friday. I guess it was quad witching OPEX. It's not the end of the world. Keep an eye on it. Just keep an eye on it, all right? Valero, chopping around. These names all look like they can consolidate. And it doesn't mean we're going to drop a ton, but consolidate at worst, right? Going into this driving season. Devin, again, I'm putting some more oil and gas names on here. Just watching, seem to be holding up, like higher lows, higher highs coming. Apache, right? Some of these names have been just throttled down due to bounce, right? Lyondale base, another one we kind of watching. This one looks real interesting. Man, OIB. Put that one back on the list because again, I know that's Friday option expiration money, but man, this thing has been cooked. Like it is probably due for a runner. EQT, again, we like this one. Looks like it's gonna go. Chopping at the highs. TVE, we talked about this, buying this one at the range lows, looking for these bounces. Flex LNG. Last but not least, coming to Oxy too. Seems to be chopping around, not going anywhere any fast. I like it though. Their dividend yields coming. Oxy, again, you got to like Oxy down here, right? You've got Buffett on your back. Buffett's got your back. So again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Again, I'm trying to explain people like very nicely. Like, see what I'm saying? Like, don't get complacent, but know that there's more upside potential if the news comes in a little better than expected. Again, I don't expect the market to crush out at the end of the quarter unless we bounce, which we are. But how big is the bounce? That's the question, right? Right now, everything is kind of a trader's market. And this is where if you're a long-term investor and you bought certain names, again, I can see people buying commodity stuff. If you bought Tesla at the lows, if you bought certain names with the idea of intent of holding for the long run, define your risk, set your stop, let it roll, do what you got to do. If you're looking to trade, this is where you got to be a little more thoughtful that, okay, we go from overbought to oversold pretty quickly. The VIX starts to come down. All right, if volatility is going to come down, then the market's going to get a little more complacent. And that's where I would be willing to bet. Again, we've got bullish days on the Stock Traders Almanac tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if you chop around and then maybe, I don't know, pull back Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then chop around Monday, Tuesday up. Again, that's my expectation. I'm trying to manage position. Again, if you got TSLL, I think we will get up into that 280s and then we could consolidate. I mean, man, it would be a blessing if you think Tesla's going to 330 or something, that this thing pulls back 20, 30 points. Not necessarily all of it today, but say in like 2 or 3 days. So, I mean, because what are we up on Tesla today? It's up 26 points, right? Like a 250 to 270 just chop range would be amazing. All right. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I appreciate all love, support, generous donations. If you have any questions, pop one. Peace.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.